So there's this video going around with this lady. She's 24 years old, right? And she stands up and talks to the crowd and tell them how she had 2 brain surgeries. And she say the man that she have is awesome. And that he even wiped her butt while she was helpless. He did everything. She said, but we haven't went out in a while. So she asked the crowd and the people on that's over the show. She said, do I say something, or when do I get to the point because I feel like I'm not appreciated? When do I say something about being appreciated? And I'm sitting there saying, didn't you just tell everybody in this room that man stuck with you and still with you through everything, and he even wiped your butt? Because you couldn't even wipe your own butt. Do you know how many men won't do that? Where's the appreciation at right there? Just off that alone. That man had to take some time in his mind to get his mind back right. Let me tell you something. Taking care of somebody takes a lot out of you. I have this conversation with my mom all the time, and she's a caregiver, as my wife is doing caregiving, as she's a nurse. And your energy and your time, and it takes so much out of you to take care of somebody else. And when that lady said that, I just thought about how many people in this world, male and female, that are very unappreciative like that. That man could have just went on about his business. And she's only 24 years old. That says a lot about that young man. And that says a lot about her. And it says a lot about how immature she is by saying, when am I going? So that's why I always talk about, it's always the feelings. Feelings. I'm using that. I'm going to try to find that video. It came by my feed so fast, and it wouldn't let me, of course it wouldn't let me send it because it got a lock on it. And I see also on here, they're taking away a lot of comments. I think you, told me that daughter was on, and I know what you mean. They taking away all kind of comments. Seems like after they changed the screen's names, a whole lot of things started happening. But we know what time it is. But I'm using that video to say, man, when you got somebody that appreciates you, and they doing all they can while they can, in spite of what they going through in their own life, appreciate them. Because see, there are some women out here that would love to have a dude like that. And it could be vice versa, just like you see women who get dogged out by men. I've seen this man where man done went all the way down in health, and that woman was right there every step of the way, doing everything. See, it ain't too many men I know that's gonna wipe your butt. You better appreciate that man. And see, I think I told my oldest daughter Gabby this a long time ago, because I remember one time when my wife got real sick. So I ain't never had no problem cleaning up behind somebody, whether it's blood or not. Just like when Sharon was living. Y'all see them old clips when Mom and Pop will go out of town, and I'd be there watching her by myself. And that time when she messed up all over herself, you got to have special patience for that. That's why everybody can't be a caregiver. But when it comes to my wife, like I told my oldest daughter years ago, because she had vomit real bad. She was real sick this one time. And without even thinking about it, I'm already in the restroom. Like, you don't have no problem cleaning. Cleaning was one of my first jobs at Target a long time ago when it came out. I ain't never had a problem cleaning. But everybody is not like that. I'm just using that for an example. When it comes to your wife or your husband, man, you go to the extreme. Because I know the same thing, that my wife would do the same thing for me. That's why when I got sick, I'm not one of them type of people that's going to get sick and just act lazy like I can't do nothing. My wife used to get mad at me because I would not. No, I don't. Because see, one thing I don't want you to do is look at me like a handicap. I don't even want to feel handicapped. That's why to this day, I had that stroke in 2016. Yeah, Jay was born in 2016. And I've been without using this left hand for 8 years, going on 9 years. And that's why I just learned how to do things different. I didn't want to wake up. I didn't want to bother her. I stopped buying shoes with strings in them. Give me the slide-ins, or give me the Velcro. Everything I can think in my mind to do so I won't inconvenience her. She'll tell you, he didn't have to give me for nothing. I still I was doing everything. I just had to learn a new way of how to do it. Because one thing I didn't want to do was put a whole load of pressure on her like that. That's why I still was clean. I was still cook, still to this day. She said, you never stop doing your duties. You never just stop. You never made excuses, and my children tell me the same thing. And I'm using that even to tie in with this video, man. When you go down with your loved one, man, your spouse, you got to do all you can, while you can, to take the load off each other. Because there's going to be times when you go down. Anybody that's married to tell you that, man, you got them ups and them downs. You might stand up there in front of their preacher and say through sickness and death, for better or for worse. But when that for worse kick in, look at how many people be ready to go and have gone. Man, I ain't signed up for this. That for worse is going to kick in, and it's going to keep kicking in. And you better learn how to deal with that for worse. I'm going to close. Y'all know what I'm about to say when I close. So many want to talk about the wedding ring, the engagement ring, but you better start looking at the suffering. I'm going on that. Shalom.